Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, mother. With Nery Saenz. I'm like, what? How can this... They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Steph, anie Meyer-Senior.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
And Mike Mercadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla, boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. My name is Mike Mercadal. With me, as always, is
Nery Saenz.
Nery Saenz, and with us, like lately, is downstairs. We have
Mike Valdez.
Mike Valdez, yeah. I was waiting for it. I didn't know.
Yes, you got to state your name. I state your name. Micah does welcome back. I missed last week. I apologize for my absence. I was on assignment. Did we decide what I was doing, or was that?
Mike says that you were out at the Comedy Store parking lot waiting in line to get on, and you never got on.
Yeah.
I said that you were out in line looking to hand out blowjobs, and you got one. So that's what I said. Look, you succeeded.
Two things can be true. Success and failures are merely described by perspective. That's all 100%. Thank you, everybody. This is episode 407 of the What's Up Bro podcast. Thank you, everybody who's been liking, sharing, and subscribing and watching us for all these years. You can follow us at WuBro Pod on all social media platforms,
including Blue Sky,
and including TikTok. And yeah, we're present.
We're hip.
We're
hip. We're cool.
We're gonna be on TikTok until it's illegal.
It is gonna be, well, just to get all the business out of the way, you can follow all of us individually on our respective things. For the audio listeners, at Mike Mercadal, at Nery Saenz, at Mike Valdez.
Valdez with an S, by the way.
With the
yes.
S.
Thank you, Nery. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes, so we are on all the social media platforms until the internet becomes illegal, and we're living in Book of Eli times.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's kind of the direction we're heading. Let's just go there, like that's just end up.
That would have been a great sequel for that. I'd rather a Book of Eli sequel than the fifth what was it?
Equalizer movie?
Equalizer? Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, cannot get past the first couple of. Lately, I've been giving movies a lot less of my time to get going. Have you noticed that it takes forever? If something takes a while to get started, I'm like, fuck this.
No, I now when a movie is slow at all, that's the only time I care about who the director or the star of the movie is. I will give them benefits of the doubt. If it's a director I respect and it's a slow beginning, I was like, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let him cook.
Let him cook. Yeah,
let him cook. But if it's like a director I've never heard of, starring Joe Blow's cousin, I'm like, nah, you got to get me from the go, bro. You can't. Tease me with this.
Joe Blow's cousin, Low Blow.
Yeah. Blow. Not related to Rob Lowe, which is the host of The Floor, which I
he's on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a present. Has the outcome been shown yet? No, there's still more episodes, right?
There's still more episodes. I was my first episode was on episode 10. The season has 12 episodes.
Right.
My first appearance, my first duel was on episode 10 that just aired at the time of this recording or this live.
Right.
It just aired last week. My next episode is tomorrow. is episode 11. Whether or not I make it to episode 12, who knows? That is still
remains to be seen.
But we know
have to watch it.
I made it to episode 11, so watch that duel. It is available on Fox, Hulu, and apparently YouTube. I didn't know.
On YouTube, really?
Yeah, I had no idea. They have like 4 episodes on YouTube, and I don't think it's like Fox affiliated. I don't think it's like
someone just downloaded it and just shared, like just total pirate.
But it's such good quality that I'm like, yeah, this is good. Like, you know,
all right.
I have family members.
Real.
I have family members in Nicaragua that are like, I don't have Hulu, and I'm like, well, and I just Googled, you know, The Floor season 2 episode 10, and then it's like my YouTube came out, and I watched like 20 minutes of it. I'm like, it's perfect quality. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
All right, you know, you heard it here first. Watch it wherever you can watch it. I can say, because it did air, that you were also on that show with a friend of mine, Brian Kwan.
Yeah, Brian Kwan. So to those diehard WuBro listeners,
yes,
months upon months ago, when I was quote filming a show, this is the show that I was filming. I couldn't talk about specifics then, but I talked then about meeting Brian, which is my friend on the show, and he is
also longtime WuBro listeners will know that his cousin, my best friend Chris Kwan, at one point was trying to figure out how to and he tried to co-host it for a little while, and so it's all connected, like a circle. It's all connected.
The WuBroverse,
the WuBroverse,
and yeah, it was great. I love because you never know. I know I was there, but you never know what the editors are going to put on there. And plus, you don't know what the other contestants are saying while you're walking up. And like, you don't know what they're saying because it's a big space. Yeah. So I love the fact that while we were Brian and I were about to do our duels, everybody was talking about how great friends we've become. And it was so true, though. It was like very they were like, man, they become like brothers, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, man, it's so true. Like to this day, me and Brian still talk on a weekly basis. It's like calling each other, and it's so wild how that. I love the fact that they got that interaction on tape. I'm like, it's on wax.
Because you guys, from the second you guys were like talking, you were like, oh man, and then when we were telling Change's story again, stuff that we couldn't talk about on the podcast, but you were like trading stories with me that it was like, yeah, he's cool like that.
and he's super cool. Yeah. But it was funny because the first day we met, which we weren't taping, but we met at breakfast. The first day was Sunday, and we met and we hung out all day Sunday, right? But it was already in my mind. I was still traveling. I was still in my mind, I was like running on 2 hours sleep. Mm-hmm. So we hung out for like maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then the next morning we hung out again, right? And then by the time we got to the studio, people were asking us, how long have you guys known each other? And we would look at our watch. We were like 14 hours, I guess. It was like 14 hours
ago.
Yeah. And they were like, what? And people were legitimately shocked. They were like, you guys seem like you guys have the chemistry of people who've known each other for years. I'm like, I don't know. It's pretty magic. It's pretty awesome.
And it was also interesting that you guys went together head to head. What was your topic? Of all people to get this topic?
It wasn't my topic. This was Brian's topic, and I challenged him in this topic.
Yes.
So it was by the time our duel happened in episode 10, and there were, for those of you who don't know the rules of the game show, there's 100 people start the game with 100 people on the floor, and then there's a randomizer that randomly selects a square, and then you could challenge anybody to your side or in front or in back of you, just not diagonal.
As if you were like a chess piece going,
right? But you can't go diagonal. You can't go diagonal, right? And so by the time I got randomized in episode 10, there were literally only 4 people who had not been randomized, who had not played the game yet. And the rule is the randomizer only selects people who have not been up on stage yet. So there was 1 of 4. Brian was another one. And then there was 2 on the other side. So I had a 25% chance that I was going to get randomly selected. And I got randomly selected. And by that time, the only people next to me was Brian and then a music topic, which I don't know shit about music.
It wasn't 80s, 90s freestyle artists?
No, it wasn't 80s. It wasn't Stevie B's greatest hits. And I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know. If it's not.
It wasn't the lyrics to Diamond Girl?
Oh, my God.
It's like Diamond Girl, my ass is indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have
that joke is gonna hit 7 people, but it's gonna hit
7 people are going to die.
Yeah,
like, Oh my god.
It's for the diehard
So-
fans.
for the OGs.
Yeah.
Now, your topic was beer.
No. That's a topic. That was Brian's topic. That
But no, I'm sorry. The topic
duel.
you ended up dueling
duel,
on.
yeah.
The duel was beer. So you, the non-drinker, outside was watching it. I was like, oh, he's doing way better than I thought.
Everybody DM'd me with like, out of all fucking topics, beer. Like people were live tweeting me, were live texting me.
Yeah.
They were like, beer. Oh no, Nery's gonna lose. This is oh no, this is not gonna go well. Why would you pick beer? And even my kids, my wife got video of them watching it, and they were like, he doesn't drink. My kids were like, he doesn't drink. Papi's gonna lose. Papi's gonna lose. Why would he pick that? He's gonna lose. It's so funny. Like I was like, oh wow, yeah. So
That's hilarious.
Really funny.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on any? I've auditioned for some. I've gotten real close, but I've never actually done a game show. I got close on this one. Have you done a game show, Mike?
You should apply again, Mike. Both of you should apply again.
I'm going to apply. Yeah,
they're taking applications right now. It just started 3 days ago. The application just started for season 5.
Should I hit up what's her the?
Well, you could just fill out the application
online, right?
You could just fill out the application and then put her name, the same girl who saw you last time, and then put her name in the. How did you hear about this? And you put her name. And it goes to her. It goes to her box.
Mike, let's do it. You and I will go out on a topic neither one of us knows.
Her email box.
Yeah.
I want to clarify. It was her email box.
Funny enough, I did audition for a show back in the day called The X Factor, and I made it on the American version, but they canceled the show before I could get on the actual show.
Oh shit!
The X Factor.
X Factor is huge though.
Wait, X Factor, like the one that you do the challenges, the eating challenges and shit.
That's
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. Oh,
The X Factor is a singing show.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The
I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
Singing scares me so much that I'd rather do Fear Factor. I'd rather eat a scorpion's dick than fucking sing in public. I gotta be honest with you, man.
How many animal dicks do I have to eat so I don't have to sing?
Exactly.
It's actually quite the opposite for me. I was gonna say to Nery's point, it's quite the opposite for me. I'd much rather sing, but you were on
the show. You're
on the show. It's on brand as hell, Valdez. It's on brand.
So the only thing I could really say is whatever you see on TV, you know how, like, because a lot of people might not know this that have seen singing shows. So much of it is produced, like at the end of the day. And I actually auditioned with 2 of my best friends. They auditioned as a duo, and I auditioned by myself. And then and I just not randomly, but I got selected by the producers to get through it. And what's so funny is like they'll show all this footage of like people waiting outside in an arena and like all this stuff. And then they're like, they make it seem like you've been waiting outside in like 100-degree weather, and then you immediately go in front of Simon Cowell and Demi Lovato and like all these people. That's not how it happens. You have to audition in front of 4 people before you even get seen by those people.
Yeah.
And
you gotta audition in front of producers before the producers decide, okay, they're TV worthy. They're worthy of putting on TV for either super talented or super train wreck.
Exactly.
Think about how the average person is, right?
Exactly.
Like if you're I hate to say it, but 90% of everyone is mid by definition.
Yeah.
Like, by definition, you have to be average.
100%. And that is why
the extremes that the producers are trying to capitalize on.
Well, the metaphor that I like to use, and because there were so many people that were like nervous and there's so many young kids, and it was actually kind of sad for me to see all these kids because they were like, man, if I don't get through, I just, I'm going to be a failure. And it's like, and I basically told them, like, look at all these people in this arena. Do you really think that out of all these people in the arena, only 5 of them can sing? Yeah. That's like basically putting an empty bag into a full fish container or full fish aquarium and not expecting to catch a fish. Like what they're looking for is they're looking for a very specific thing. And sometimes doesn't, and sometimes it's so specific that it's down to what you look like. Sometimes it's so specific that you're unique looking, that you are an ethnicity that they want, that you're a sexual orientation that they want, your story is interesting, whatever, which is why every time you watch any of these shows, they're always like, you know, the reason why I sing is because, you know, it gives me, when I was 2 years old, I got type 1 diabetes, and every time I sing, it puts insulin from my pancreas into my body, and like, you know, all this shit that you're just like, how is that even possible, and why am I crying? You know,
I was held hostage, and then my voice, the beautiful voice that I sang with, convinced them through tears, they let me go back to my family.
Yeah.
Do you understand how, to the audience, I just want to make sure the audience understands how great this was, right? What both mics just did, they had to give an example of a disease, right? Basically, or a situation that's dire, but still can make fun of.
Yeah. Yes.
So in this example, Mike Valdez had to say, like, he couldn't say cancer because he was like, no, that's not funny. But he could say diabetes because, you know, that's funny. And if you're saying a 2-year-old has diabetes, that's hilarious. And then so he had to go through all these levels. And then Mercadal had to go like, let me go with I was a hostage. And then I was
let me say this. The singing rejuvenates the pancreas, which is what makes the 2-year-old with diabetes okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
But
the talent, the overcoming the odds is what it is.
I just want to make sure that the audience knows how difficult as a comedian it is to on the spot come up with an example to give. Because if you would have been like, everybody's sick and everybody has AIDS, which is would have been hilarious because it would have been a quote from
America.
To America.
AIDS.
Yeah, or Rent. It would have been. So that's why it's usually like that. And sometimes they'll even produce you to look like you're an asshole and you're not. Sometimes they'll produce you to be like some shy person that's never sung before. And then you open up your mouth and, you know, Jesus is in there, you know, and like, it's just, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, and this is the thing that I was trying to tell everybody that made it through and all this stuff, which is hilarious because the show never ended up happening. But I was just like, at the end of the day, man, they're trying to make a show. If they wanted to make a show about people that sing good, nobody would watch it. Only people that sing would watch it. Like, you know,
you got to be one of the extremes. You got to be really talented or a train wreck. They don't want anything in the middle.
They don't want anything in the middle. Exactly.
I will say this.
What was your song?
Yeah, what was your song?
The song that I did was "Ain't It Fun" or no, not "Ain't It Fun." I did Some Nights by Fun. That's what I did. So I was they wanted to go with me because I had a very indie rock vibe, and they really like that. And that was really popping in like 2008 or when I did it, or 2010, I think. Yeah.
So
that was okay. So it was a while ago. Yeah.
I will say this. I had a friend of mine who I just told, who's a comedian. I said, hey, they're they're accepting applications for the next season, for the following season. And he said, well, let me ask you this. And he said, would you do it again? I'm like, I'm fucking dying to do it again. Like, I would love to do it again. And he said, really? I go, the experience was that great. It was like phenomenal experience. Awesome. And I was actually saying this to somebody a friend of mine who applied for the next season. She asked me, she's like, man, it looks really good. And I said, I love the fact that there was only one contestant who was a complete a-hole. Right. But the producers, I said, I'm impressed with how good the producers made them look because they had plenty of material to work with as far as footage to make that person look like the a-hole that they were. But the producers were like, nah, man, this is not that kind of show. We're going to make, you know what I mean? Everybody's going to be, it's all about love and upbeat and, you know, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. I'm down with it.
Funny enough, my one of my really close friends ended up being on X Factor as well that same exact season. He went with his brother, and they are like super buff, good looking dudes. Like, and they both, they're only like a few years apart, but they both kind of look like, especially the older brother, looks like if Robert Pattinson from Twilight was super jacked. Like, and so it's
like
just
Robert Pattinson from the Batman.
Yeah, so basically perfect. And so And so he and so
Cedric Diggory, but on steroids.
And they sang and they're good singers, but they basically wanted to go there to kind of just
take their shirts off.
Yeah, like the show basically had them go up.
Were they singing Casey and JoJo?
No, they didn't sing Casey and JoJo. But the show, it was funny because
we're wearing vests with no shirt underneath.
Just to show you like how the production went or whatever. They chose them, and they're good singers. They're not at that time. I wouldn't say, in case my friend watches this, like they weren't like amazing singers, but they're like good. You know what I mean? But obviously, the reason why they were chosen is because of how good looking they are. Period. Like that's what it is. And I don't think either of them would deny me about saying that. And what was so weird,
either one of them would
we're just hot.
Yeah. I don't think one of them would. Whoa. You're saying that we got booked because we're good looking? How dare you? How dare you?
Well, what's funny about it is they actually, here's another fun fact that the show doesn't exist anymore. So my contract doesn't matter.
Say whatever the fuck
I will
you want
say whatever the fuck
right?
I want. Exactly. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure every show is like this. They have writers for all of the judges. And one of the things so they would tee you up, essentially. Like a lot of these judges would tee you up. So for example, Simon teed me up so I could say my joke, because I've literally been saying the joke about how I look like the kid from Up since then.
Right.
Like so he teed me up for that joke, and I won that entire arena. Like
I just picture Mike watching Up for the first time going,
yes.
Hey, what's happening? That reminds me of what was that name of the show that was like on after all of the fucking night show? Oh, Comics Unleashed.
Yes.
Where it's like those dudes that everybody's just kind of sitting around, like it's supposed to be like politically incorrect or whatever. And but it was always like the most hacky setups where it's like the host would turn and be like,
"Oh, you flew here
through the mall last week?"
Exactly that, yeah.
Oh
so yeah, it's like, oh wait, you were at the doctor recently, right?
Yeah, and Theo, like, you just got in a car crash, right? Like, it's like, it's like
you
the weird.
Did you just break up with your girlfriend?
Yeah, the weirdest segue so they could just do bits. Like,
it's literally just like, hey, just talk about having a baby because my wife, I'm gonna do my pregnancy bit,
exactly,
whatever, and then it's like.
It was basically that. It was basically that because they were like, okay, he's like an alt rock kind of hipster looking guy that sings really well, but is also funny. And we've never had that before.
So what was the setup? What was Simon's setup for you?
I can't. Oh, he said, I've been hearing that a lot of people say that you look like a certain cartoon character. Is that true?
The most obvious, like literally telegraphed.
He could even say, "Hey, you look familiar," or "Have I seen you before?"
Right, exactly. He could say that, which is literally a way better way of doing it and less words.
Yeah.
You look familiar. Have I seen you somewhere? And I would have won the room even more. But
he's like, "Oh, they tell me you look like a particular cartoon character from a Pixar movie about a house with balloons," and then you're like, "Come on."
And
that's like,
well,
what are you doing?
Considering that there's only 3 characters in that movie and one of them dies in the first 9 minutes, I will say that.
I look like the dog.
You kind of look like Doug. You kind of look like Doug.
You kind of look like both the old man and the kid now at this stage.
So no, in all reality, I always say that joke that I look like the kid from Up, because in all reality, if you look at Carl when he's a little boy, that's exactly what I look like. And so that's why I didn't
notice that. Yeah.
So I say those words on purpose because if you think it's the other kid, it still works. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it exactly like that. But anyway, all that to say, they had written jokes for my friends. And these jokes tank. They tank, dude. And at one point, Demi Lovato, this was at the time when people would say like no homo or something. Like you remember when people would say no homo? And like
God.
for everything? Like they would Like they would just like
Nery just said it before we went on air, so I don't know.
Technically, I said no Diddy, but
No
but
Diddy.
but for like nothing.
That's
like
just
they
a
would
baby
be,
oil thing.
Like for nothing. Like people would be like, "Yo, I'm about to get a bowl of cereal, no homo." Like what? I didn't even think homo at all when you were.
I'm starting
about
to think homo.
Like-
You know, like
like-
I'm starting to get a little.
how do you eat your cereal?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
What? Like, how do you? How
That's such.
you
That's
go
such a thing.
having that cereal, huh? Like,
Okay, you know how you get that lately? So I get that so much lately now. Whenever people talk about like, well, we're gonna talk about him, but Henry Cavill or like Chris Hemsworth, where they're like, you know, like they start getting like almost like aggressively anti. Like they get really homophobic in the fact that they're gonna. I'm still saying he's hot, but I'm fucking straight, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're digging your heels in that hard, I'm starting. I question. Like that's worse
I hate
to me.
people
Like, I'm
like that, dude. Get your hand out of my dick if you're gonna be that kind of a person. Like just be okay with the fact that you find another dude attractive. Nobody thinks you want to fuck him. Like, and if you did, he wouldn't want to fuck
would
you.
Blame you. It's Henry Cavill, for God's sake. Are you kidding me?
It's like that meme.
Joe Blow. He's not the dude on the street.
I
He's
completely
Henry
get it.
Cavill. You think that-
Exactly.
please, first of all, you think you need to be gay to have to fucking walk him? Fucking
Not
Superman?
at all.
You think you need to be gay for that? Get out of here with this.
Not at all.
It's like that.
I would question you if you didn't want to have fucking have
I
sex with
agree.
Henry Cavill.
I also think that there's like I don't know what lines need to be blurred for you to just be able to say, hey, that's a good looking man.
Yeah.
Without you feeling like the creeping up your spine to come out your mouth like, you know, like,
dude,
you know, like
I
relax. It's okay.
Dude, I bet you
Please.
$10. I bet you $10 Nery would fuck Henry Cavill in front of his family.
Are you kidding me? Please, how much do I gotta pay? Is it one of those things like one of those raffles where I gotta put in for a drawing and then like it's for charity, but like there's a chance of me winning, or like is it straight up? Is it what is it? One of these? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
it's not
same.
gay. It's
not at all.
Different.
It's not Superman anymore. He is not Superman anymore. He is
He's
leader
Superman.
of the Custodes
He's
Warhammer
Superman.
40,000, which just got
he is
greenlit.
he is Warhammer. Yes,
he's not Superman anymore. He is a Superman.
First of all,
but he is not the Superman.
Is still Superman until
the movie drops.
Until the next movie drops. And shout out to Only and Dade for they're on Instagram and they're commenting on our Instagrams. So shout out to Only and Dade. But yeah, I am legitimately, I think I'm down. I mean he's
I think so am I.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? I think all three of us are down. What are you talking about?
I don't understand. Why is this a thing?
I don't want to speak for Mike, but I think all of us are down.
I do also. I'm not now. Watch me like do the exact same thing I just said. I'm like, I'm not gay.
This is what I want to. I want to get. I want to get you to be so uncomfortable. They're like, well, I'm not saying
I mean, we could just say he's attractive. We don't have to say we want to have intercourse with him. We could just say that he's like objectively handsome. We don't have to say we want to get fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like we could draw a line between those.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. He's talented. I just don't want to. Mike was doing the Joe Pesci from Goodfellas.
Yes.
Sammy Davis Jr. is attractive. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's I'm that. You want to know what? It's that meme of what's the girl's name? Sydney Sweeney.
Oh yeah.
Before where she's like, when I meet Henry Cavill in public and my wife introduces me as her husband, and I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that.
100%.
Like, what are you gonna do? The show is coming out though. Speaking of, we should probably talk. They finally greenlit it, and we should talk about current events are like wild, and we're here talking about the X Factor from 10 years ago.
Yeah, let's talk about current events.
Well, two things I wanted to mention. One, make sure you watch The Floor, but on Fox, and then the next day on Hulu. But I wanted to,
and then the third day on YouTube,
and then the third. But I wanted to mention the Superman connection because the documentary Super/Man, the Christopher Reeve story, just came out on Max, available for Max, awesome. And it is such a brilliantly made documentary.
I need
Like,
to watch that.
It's so good on like, and here's the thing, I miss old school documentaries, and by that I mean everything now is a docu-series, everything now is 3-4 episodes, and I'm like, give me a 2.5-hour documentary. I'll watch it on my pace, dude, but just give it to me. I don't want episodes.
You could have cut 4 episodes out of this motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
like
so
there's
good.
a certain point of like, I'm sick. I'm tired. I fucking hate when movies are trying to be TV shows and TV shows are trying to be movies.
Yes.
TV shows that deserve more time to tell the story get a fucking 2-hour movie. Excuse me. But then some documentary that you could like, hey man, I don't need to like get to the stuff. Like cut it down.
Yeah.
Like every comedian on earth, trim the fat. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to know all this bullshit. Tell me the story in one sitting.
Yeah.
Then tell me another story later. But tell me that like you don't need to like. I'm saying,
I don't need
like, there's too much of this serialization of things because streaming wants more content.
I don't need a 6-part miniseries about if the Chuck E. Cheese pizza is actually good or not. Like,
you got one episode and it's just one guy saying, yes. The answer is yes.
30
It's
seconds.
a bunch of people going like,
fine.
yeah, it's good.
What documentary is this?
No, I'm joking around.
Oh, because I'm that guy that I'm like, I would watch that. Yeah,
I would watch the Chuck E. Cheese pizza documentary. Are you kidding?
Is it? Wouldn't it be great? They should make a documentary of all like the non-big, like the not Domino's and Pizza Hut, like every other, like, you know what I mean, like Little Caesars, every other Uno
Just
pizza,
go hang out.
Godfather Pizza, all of these like little, like, you know, just
I would
be good.
So if Only in Date's still watching, I would pay for a documentary of Cazzola's Pizza on US 1.
Yes.
Oh, Cazzola's Pizza, yes.
I would pay for a documentary because have you every era of the last 50 years of that of Miami has had at some point Cazzola's Pizza adjacent. There's got to be something that it's been there forever. It's witnessed the rise of Coconut Grove in the 80s and all this shit. I would be curious.
It's now become a destination. Like the Grove is no longer a hot spot, but Cazzola still thrives.
The Grove died with 609. It is the Grove is over. I mean, I guess college kids still go there. It's still like Thursday night college for UM or whatever. Is it? I don't even know. I haven't been there forever.
I have no idea. Yeah.
We're old. We don't go anymore.
Cazzola still lives, and that's all we care about is Cazzola.
Yeah.
Cazzolas will be here after the bombs have dropped. Cazzola's going to be selling pizza to the Book of Eli is going to take a quick stop in Cazzola's.
AI will take over and stop over Cazzola's.
It'll be Cazzola's and Eagle Video in Sweetwater. And
oh my God.
Eagle Video.
Let's get as specific as possible.
Let's
get as specific as possible. Hot Wheels before it was Super Wheels. Let's get Miami as fuck because only dates in the chat. Let's see that.
So funny.
Fanless.
We have to say croquetas every 30 seconds.
For sure. Fanless on Instagram. I don't think I've ever been to Cazzola's while sober. Biggest slices ever. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Why would you go there when you're sober? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Stories.
I don't think anybody has.
I gotta be honest. So as a non-drinker, I'm totally talking shit because that's the only time I you know. Here's the thing, and this I have this as part of I have this bit on stage where I talk about before rideshare. There was designated drivers, and that was me. That's all I used to do. And the majority of the reasons why I got invited places was because I don't drink, and then like Nery would drive. And so, and I did. I would drive. And Cazzolas would be one of those places that I would drive all my drunk friends to, and I would be the sober one. But I was also the fat one, so it'd be like, yes, well, he's gonna. Of course, he would. I'm not gonna, complain about going to Cazzola's at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd be like, yes, I will go to Cazzola's at 4 o'clock in the morning, even though I'm.
Cazzola's is enough. It's enough. There's so many of these like weird because that's really the story of when I think about like Miami. There's always like a food component, but like you think about where all these people had to go somewhere to hang out. Wasn't there a new series or something that came out about like the drug hotel in Coconut Grove, or it was in the Gable? Where was it? I don't remember.
There's only one.
No, but it was like the main one. Oh man! But it was
a series
it was like
of Holiday
not a docu-series. It was like Yeah, the Hampton Inn Suites.
It's a series of La Quintas that are all around the Grove.
No, but it was, I can't remember what it was called, but it's the, did anybody watch the Sofia Vergara series on Netflix of the,
oh yeah,
I
saw an episode of it. Yeah, I forget.
It was not great, but it was not the part of the story that I gave a shit about. It was weird.
Sure.
But they showed the part where she goes, that was the hotel that she ends up doing a lot of her business out of. And I guess they did. I haven't seen the series, but anyway,
what's your
it's the one that
is it Griselda?
Griselda was the one that Sofia Vergara did. I'm talking about another one, and I can't remember what the name.
Oh, okay.
That one was awesome. The one with Sofia Vergara was amazing. That show was great.
I only saw an episode or two, so I can't really judge.
I never finished
it.
I could not get through. Like I was like, this feels very like. Here's the thing. This is another thing I'm sick and tired of. A bad guy can just be a bad guy. Like you don't have to redeem anyone. So when people their whole story and image is of how like fucking monstrous they were, let them do that. Like don't make me like don't try to excuse it.
Well,
they're still fucking monsters.
Oh yeah, but there's also monsters that do things for a reason.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
Like you could be a monster that has a legitimate reason. Griselda had children. She was raising children. I'm not defending, by the way, and I'm not
sure.
I'm not passing judgment either way. I'm just saying that that's the beauty of storytelling. You find deeper stories than just the headline. You go, okay, this person's a monster. What made them monsters, and how were they monsters, and blah 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 blah.
I don't know, man. I don't care. I don't think I care. I don't think I want that.
Dude, I'm sorry. The guy, the CEO, the Luigi.
He's not a monster. He's a hero. There's a difference. Fighting evil. No. Killing innocent people is very different than what my boy Luigi did.
But again,
hashtag free Luigi. Hashtag snitches get stitches in McDonald's.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm not saying I agree with you either. But what I'm saying is,
pick a side there, you fucking coward.
No, I don't, because I have health insurance and I need them. If they follow me, I can't have them cancel my shit.
What's the matter, man?
So my whole point is,
your health insurance listens to this show.
No. my wife.
How crazy would it be if Blue Cross Blue Shield listened to WuBro?
How crazy would it be if I could afford Blue Cross Blue Shield? Oh my god! How great is Nery doing? He's got.
I was gonna say Medicaid doesn't listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
they just spy on us like the government does.
I got Blue Cross Blue Shield money, baby. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good rapper and you want to be fucking flexing all these, like, I got bands and I make them dance.
Yeah, just show your insurance card. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that guy can be and is, by a certain group of people in this country and all over the world, perceived as a monster because he killed a man in cold blood.
Right.
Now, if you make a movie about him, do you just show the killing and be like, okay, just make him a monster and you don't need to have redeeming qualities? Or do you show the backstory and be like, hey, this guy was wronged by the insurance company?
And if they make it look,
they already
like
did. It's called the Joker.
Yeah. I mean,
and then they make it a musical.
There is a healthcare. Look, if the Joker had better healthcare to get his proper therapy, literally, that's the plot line in the first Joker. If he would have been able to keep his health insurance, there would have been no Joker. Robert De Niro would still be alive doing shows.
So maybe Luigi's Mansion wasn't original.
All I'm saying is okay.
If you watch
about this guy,
if you watch about Griselda, my whole point is Griselda. You said villains could just be villains. Yeah. Well, okay, but there's I'm not saying that can't be the case. You could absolutely have a show or a movie where the villain is just a villain, right? You could watch Mel Gibson's Payback, where the villain is not only the actor but also the character.
Yeah, double layer villain. Here's my thing about Griselda. Mel Gibson. Two things can
Mel
be
Gibson
true.
In anything.
That's me going into 2025. My new motto for 2025 is, "Hey man, two things can be true. Let's let 100%. Multiple things exist in truth."
Yes,
it can be true that Griselda is a monster. and killed a lot of people who didn't deserve to be killed. And it can be true that she hold on, I'll get there. And it can be true that she had children that she was trying to provide for. Bless you. And it can be true. Three things, an unheard of. Third thing being true at the same time is that they wrote it to make her look weak as shit in the eyes of all the other men that were around her. Like and the whole point was that she dominated all these motherfuckers.
She shattered that glass ceiling.
Let her be the dominant woman, like let her be a strong, powerful woman committing heinous crimes.
But she was. That's what the show was.
Yeah.
No, I have that. My issue is with the writing and her characters. Like everything is about her getting like being perceived almost as weak. And then even at the end when she's like strong, she's got all these other guys doing things, and then she like making the choices for her. It's weird. I didn't like it. That's not the point of what I wanted to bring up. But
what you wanted to say?
Well, how much thirst is happening for this murderer online is astounding to me.
Alleged.
No, he's on camera.
Alleged.
Shooting that.
To be
it
fair,
could not be Luigi. It could not be Luigi. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no. First of all, yes, that's one of the things. I wasn't saying that, but I also believe that that's not him. All of a sudden, he doesn't have a unibrow anymore. Okay, whatever.
Is there conspiracy theories?
Yeah,
Is there like
that's not him. That's not that guy. All of a sudden, it's a different kind of green jacket, a different hood. All of a sudden,
I'm here for it.
The guy had a fucking with the mask on. He had a unibrow, and like whatever. But whatever. This guy he graduated from an Ivy League school, but he got caught at McDonald's. Get the fuck out of here! With the gun and the silencer in his backpack. Okay,
I think it's all part of. I think it's the plan.
I
think they're all his. Have you seen his? He has like all of his accounts online themed. So like his fucking he has, you know what Letterboxd is? Where people review their movies, blah blah blah. His top 4 movies are like The Killer, The Assassin, or something else, and it's literally like all of these about killing people who deserve it. In his Instagram or whatever, he's holding a Happy Meal box from McDonald's. Everybody's drawing all these connections where it's like, I think he may have planned it. Like he may, like him getting caught. Like if he would have stayed in New York, I guarantee you he would have.
That's all AI shit, bro.
You think?
That's the fucking FBI. That's how they wanted a patsy, and they got a fucking patsy, and that's his hometown, man. All right? You told me that guy fucking got caught.
Oh, here we go.
I don't believe it, man. Don't believe it. Fight the power, man.
Look, he's got his fucking his Happy Meal situation.
I'll read that whole thing. That's bonkers.
For those who don't know, his family owns elderly assisted living facility. United Healthcare has been buying up family-owned living facilities across the country and undercutting family-owned ones. They are currently being sued for antitrust. This man is a hero. He was standing up for not only his family but elderly people everywhere. We all know this is the most elderly we've had over 60. This is the most elderly we've had over 65, and elder abuses happening everywhere. This man was rich. He didn't have to care. He didn't have to do this. He's actually a hero. Now, I work in healthcare.
And I have a friend who works in the insurance industry, in the medical insurance industry. And what I was told was staggering that United, specifically the company United, the amount of denied claims that they have is staggeringly higher by over 39%, like something like 39% higher than their next competitor. Like they decline fucking everything. Right. And on top of that, they fired there was one section of United that they laid off their entire claims workforce and replaced them with AI.
Okay. So not only is the AI
somebody filing a claim, it's no longer a human reading your claim going, oh my God, I feel so bad for this person. Let me approve this claim. It's now AI going, nope, it doesn't fall within our policies. Bye.
With a 90% error rate. Like it's literally the most wrong thing on earth. And it's like, hey, let's make it in charge of people's lives.
And they literally laid off all these humans to put in AI that is going to purposely decline these claims. That's
Yeah.
fucking bonkers.
So here's the thing. There's a movie. Since this is a pop culture podcast, right? We're not. None of us are professionals. None of us know anything about what we're talking about beyond vibes, right? Except for the things that we specifically know about. Nery, you do comedy day in and day out. You're in the environment in which you do comedy. I am a healthcare professional. I have been a healthcare professional for almost 2 decades now. Mike Valdez auditions for X Factor so often that it's his professional setting.
But we all
have our things that we are not experts by any means on legal proceedings and all this other stuff. But I watched a movie called The Rainmaker way back when with Matt Damon. And John Voight is Matt Damon is the good lawyer. John Voight is the bad lawyer. And it's all about health insurance, right?
Oh, yeah,
and when people talk about like what radicalized me, that movie is literally exactly what we're going through when people are like dealing with it right now. And it's like, it's been forever. And here's the thing. As long as there's been health insurance, not one person now can say why health insurance is good or better than the alternative. So it's just a whole bunch of people who are like wicked big at the box office. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. Literally every insurance, no class consciousness. Everybody, please don't keep arguing about trans bathrooms. Don't look at this thing that's actually killing people and affecting people, and unite, and everyone is united under the umbrella of having been fucked over by a health insurance company in some form. Like, don't do that. They're gonna come take your guns.
What's crazy is that all three of us, we grew up watching movies like Terminator 2 and RoboCop and iRobot and all this stuff, and about how all this stuff is evil. And yet in the last 5 years, we've been seeing it in front of our eyes, and people are like, yes, more, please.
Yeah,
it's like what is going on? They get the wrong
idea from, hey, here's this dystopian sci-fi hellscape that we're going to tell our story in as an allegory and a lesson to learn about the dangers of it. And then some guys like, oh, we should do that. We should put that in charge of all of our banks.
100%.
Like, no.
And it's terrible.
What bothers me is there's still no Batman. And how the fuck is there still no Batman?
What bothers me is there's no hoverboard.
How many billionaires do we have that there's no fucking Batman? Not one person, not one of these billionaires, crazy as they are. The craziest thing they've done is what? Fucking Biden election? Ooh, give me a fucking break, Elon. You get your shit together, get a bat cave, and come out fucking swinging out of rooftops, and let's see what happens, man. Jeez.
You know what's funny? I think that's why he does all the HGH and his torso looks like that, because he wants to be Batman, but he can't.
There's an old Dan Telford joke that's quite literally that, where he's like, Obama says that we should tax the wealthy or not tax the wealthy or something. This was back when Obama was in office. And he's like, I think we should murder the wealthy in hopes that one of the wealthy will become Batman.
Or one of the wealthy's kids.
Yeah.
You got to get him in front of his kid, which Elon's carrying his kid around a lot more now. There's the United guy got shot. We could turn little X into Batman. It just takes one brave soul. That's all it takes. And then,
it takes one brave soul and one traumatized kid to make the world change.
To make a Batman. That's all we need. And that Batman is not best case scenario for a dead family member, for a dead
parent. Of course not.
It's Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is the best case scenario for.
Yeah, but then you got to find
of all the dead parent heroes. Of all the dead parent heroes,
an uncle. It's harder.
No.
I want Spider-Man.
No, that's not the best. Spider-Man is absolutely not the best. What are you talking about?
I think in terms of goodness, like in terms of general good, Spider-Man I think is a better outcome.
He wasn't
because he had a deal, Uncle Ben come in and said
he wasn't completely what's the word I'm looking for?
It wasn't abandoned. He was an orphaned.
He wasn't orphaned.
Yeah.
He technically was, but family comes in.
Yeah.
Because they're poor. Because they were poor.
Right.
The only reason Batman exists is because he was fucking rich.
And Alfred?
Alfred is a servant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you know how wealthy your dad has to be that when he's dead, your kid still has a butler. Like that's wealthy.
Yeah.
Like
coming.
I love all the bullshit that they had to. What?
The checks are still coming in. Like,
yeah,
Alfred is still getting paid. Can you imagine Alfred if like a month after Bruce Wayne's dad dies, a month after Alfred's like, hey, I know you're only 10, but I didn't get paid yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to get paid.
It's like that.
Checks, not
It's like that
so.
cute story that women always hear, where it's like, I'm sure it's a fake story about this man who would give one rose to his wife every single day, and then he passed away, and the guy came still every day, and he was like, no, it isn't until you're dead. It isn't until he's dead. It's till you're dead. Right. It's like literally that, but for boys. You know, where it's
yeah, you just got a butler until you're dead.
Yeah, you have a butler until you're dead. Yeah, so
I love that.
And then here's the other thing: if Alfred would have died when Bruce was 15, does that money still go into direct deposit? Like, how does that work? Like, does Alfred, would that money still have kept coming in?
I don't know. That's a fun. See, these are the questions that we ask on the WuBro podcast, and that's right. Why you need to subscribe.
That's why we don't give a shit about. We don't give a shit about the United Healthcare.
No, we
the
care
guy who
about
got shot. The
we
guy who
care
did the
about
shooting.
how much money Alfred is getting in Batman.
Yeah. We care about is this going to turn into a Batman scenario?
Yeah.
How many billionaires have to get shot before there's a Batman? It's a non-zero number, but there's a possibility.
Yeah, there is a possibility.
The far right is now taking this case as like, look how bad the lefties are, that they want to murder, blah blah blah, whatever, that they're doing all this. And I was like, why isn't this story for the right? Why isn't this story taking off as a gun control? Right? Like, where's the gun control? Like, how come nobody said? Not one person has said, did he have a permit for that gun? No. Nobody said that. Nobody said like, hey, you know why? Because it wasn't an automatic rifle. That's why.
Here's the thing. So here's like big, like so much has happened that and so quickly, right? So like all of a sudden you hear about this guy getting shot. The other CEOs and other billionaires that had a business meeting step over the fucking crime scene and they still had the meeting and it started on time. Just goes to show you like where the level of importance is.
I like the fact that the news said that the meeting was cut short. I'm like, it wasn't really cut short. It's just the 20 minutes that guy was gonna do is no longer being done. Mm-hmm. So that's not really. I mean, technically it was cut short, but it was cut short by Luigi.
Yeah.
Also, Luigi Mangione sounds like the fakest name. It's like if
I said that to my wife. I'm like, that's the most Italian name. The only way you're gonna get a more Italian name is if the guy's name was a fucking Mario Lasagna.
I literally
more Italian name than Luigi.
I thought it was fake at the beginning, and I was like, that's like if you came up to me and they were like, hey, did you see the guy who? It's like if I had to come up with a name on the fly, I couldn't have come up with. I would have been like, hey, his name was Kevin. Fake name.
Like, I'm reading a script. I need an Italian name here. What do you got?
Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, but let's go with that. Let's go with that.
That's it. That's great. Yeah, he's Italian.
I no lie. For the past couple of hours, while people have been making, their headlines and all this stuff about this guy, 100% thought it was a Luigi's Mansion thing for like, because I had dyslexia.
Like someone just named him.
No, not a meme. Like actual articles, and I would just read it Luigi's Mansion, and I would just.
Are they coming out with a new one?
Yeah, just be like, oh shit, they're coming out with a new one. Like,
oh, Luigi's Mansion, cool.
Oh, they're making a Luigi's Mansion movie. This guy looks nothing like him. I've never even heard of this actor. Like,
this guy looks too handsome to be Luigi. I mean. That's a pretty handsome Luigi. But to be fair, like while it was happening, before they catch the guy, it was also funny to see like, hey, NYPD, justify your billions of dollars in budget, please, because that guy was on camera in the most populated city in the world. He is literally he rides a trackable bike away from a crime scene, and he just disappears. And they're like, we think he got on a bus. And only because some dumb fuck in McDonald's was like, I think I want $10,000. Literally, Altoona, Pennsylvania. I've been there. It is a nothing town, and it is it had to have been some older
It was
McDonald's
they're
employee
older.
who was forced to like work and through their retirement because of how bad the economy is, and they're old, so they think $10,000 is life changing money still.
Before
fuck you, man.
Before taxes, by the way, which is hilarious.
Hilarious. Good luck getting the NYPD to pay too.
And here's the thing. Somebody in the comments before they caught him, somebody says, "You want me to snitch on John Wick for $10,000 for up to $10,000? Get the fuck out of here! I'm not doing that." Like,
that's so funny.
It's also like at a certain point, there is a very clear generational divide in class consciousness, accessibility, right? Like the idea that this guy, hey man, if they catch him, they catch him, but not with my help. I don't get paid to fight crime. I don't get that. You get paid to fight crime. You get paid to solve these things, not me. So it's like, it was like that whole meme of like a bunch of different memes, like when Spider-Man 2, when they put his mask back on him and they're like, we didn't see anything, and they're like, we won't tell nobody, like, because he saves everyone, and they pull his mask off, and it was like that. It's like genuinely like everyone was like, man, I don't know. And then my favorite was Ben Shapiro, that little fuck.
That's the one I was talking about, that he was all fucking pissed off. Like,
he was trying to present it as a left-right thing, and everyone in his comments was like, I don't know, man. I got fucked over by the insurance company, because you know how like real conservative people don't really care about anything in the world unless it happens directly to them. They have the opposite of empathy, sociopathy. They were like, oh, they were like straight up like, this is a L take, Ben Shapiro, not to be that guy, but like they were like afraid to disagree with him in comments, and then other people were like, nah man, fuck this, you know, like they were like, shut up, you know.
It's so funny because this is one of those things where it's so overwhelming as far as what people are feeling about this, about the support for this. Like even people who were in the Capitol on January 6th, they're like, even they were like, hey, this guy has a point.
I mean, like there's like vegans on the internet going like, I mean, it's not an animal life he took, so I don't give a shit. You know?
And then other people were like, that's where you're wrong. He was an animal. He
wasn't. And here's the fact that guy also, like, I love all the bad shit coming out about him. Like, yeah, nobody gives a fuck about you, dude, because you're
his last tweet.
Insider trading. No, what was his last tweet?
His last tweet was like how proud he was of like the work that United Healthcare is doing. And then the first 3 comments right after that were like, why is my wife that has stage 4 cancer being denied it? It's just like the first 3 comments were just brutally disproving the bullshit lie that he was just giving. He was giving props to some senior VP of whatever the fuck, and it's just like, oh boy.
Yeah. It would have been more funny if his last tweet was just a link to the Wicked Part 1 trailer. Would have been really funny.
What if his last tweet was like Ted Cruz tweeting trans porn or whatever it was?
Oh, I got it. His last tweet was a Burger King ad. A partnership with Burger King.
That's funny.
Did you see Burger King's tweet?
No.
Burger King tweeted afterwards like we wouldn't have snitched.
That's funny.
It was the fucking funniest thing in the world.
That's funny.
I don't know if it was
how real it all is. Yeah.
Who cares, dude? It's still funny. Comedy's so funny. Who gives a shit? For comedic purposes, that's hilarious. Popeyes actually Popeye was like, you know, we ain't snitching over here. Like, it's just,
of course.
Yeah. If he would have gone to Waffle House, they would have helped him hide the gun. There is no. It's so funny to me. Also,
by the way, I have personal friends who were in the chat and they broke the story to me. They broke the story to us like right as it happened.
Yeah.
And I have personal friends who are like, I hope they catch this guy, blah, blah, whatever. And I was in the chat like this. From moment one, I was like, yeah. Oh no, this is crazy. What?
Here's the irony is how it fucking worked. I don't know if you know this, but the internet was full of streams of people going, hey, so all of my shit that I've been fighting for years for at my insurance company just got approved. Suddenly, everything's getting cleared because nobody wants to be the one person that denies the claim that's going to set off Luigi Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Can you imagine somebody? I would just, like, the day after it happens, just imagine having to call an insurance company and they go, I'm sorry, your claim got denied. I'm like, what's your name again? First and last name? Did I say denied? I meant, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and approve this real quick. We're gonna
I'm just gonna talk to my supervisor real quick because I think we can.
What's your supervisor's name?
What's your supervisor's name?
First and last name.
like one thing's for sure,
Luigi
whether you
Mangione.
fall, no matter what side you fall on when it comes to this, because I don't know anything about this, to be completely honest. I'm quite literally hearing about this story as I'm on this podcast.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Yeah. And so, because I just don't watch the news, because I try to stay away from things that give me anxiety.
Watch the news anymore. We watch social media.
Same thing. Like I try to stay.
Yeah, nobody watches. Like I've never. Mike, when was the last time you actually watched the actual news channel? Maybe aside from maybe the election. I don't remember watching a news channel. I don't remember the last time I watched a news channel.
Does ESPN count?
Oh.
That's it. That's it.
Where I'm at.
I've not watched any news channel.
Only when the Dolphins win. And even then, only when the Dolphins win.
I only watch. No.
I don't watch SportsCenter when the Niners lose. I don't watch SportsCenter for that following week. I'm like, oh, there goes a week.
I do my best to time the top 10 place, and I go on the ESPN YouTube account and look up the highlights of the game, whether they win or lose, because I like watching the highlights. But it's also like that's how I get my coverage these days. I cannot watch TV.
I can't watch losing coverage. I can't watch the Niners. I can't watch the highlights of the Niners losing. I can't do it. I'm like, I'm not putting myself through this. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's so much weird vibes after the election that all the cable news people that are the quote unquote Democrat supported, like liberal news, lost everybody. Like they are tanking their ratings. Are tanking. That's what I hear on social media, where that's where
I'm like, news. I get my news off of social media.
Also, it happens faster. So I was at work. So I work nights, right? So at night, I was at work, and all of a sudden I started seeing the posts about
you're in LA, so night. Yeah,
right. So it's even like it like flows a little different. So I was up and just getting the stream as it was happening of people reacting to things, and then people on the East Coast waking up to this information. And so the flood of information, like, what happened? And then when they find out what happened, they're all like, good, fuck that guy. Like it was almost like unanimous. It was almost like an I Am Spartacus moment where everyone just kind of stood up and been like, fuck that guy. And then another guy stands up and says like, yeah, fuck that guy. And then it's like, I would have shot him too. And it like literally as a chorus of people just going like, fuck that guy.
Are you, and I'm going to change gears completely here, because I'm going to get something to where Mike Valdez is going to get involved. Are you more excited about Henry Cavill doing Warhammer? Is it Warhammer? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the rumor, and I hate that they released this, that Chris Evans is going to come back to the MCU.
Yeah, they did release that, huh? I personally am more excited about Henry Cavill just because I've already seen Chris Evans in the MCU. So like it's kind of like, the whole RDJ thing.
Do you think he's back as Captain America?
Well, I don't know. That would be funny if he did, but like what I think is so funny about this whole rollout with Marvel lately is they're just like, oh, our movies haven't been that good, bring RDJ back. And it's like, okay, but we've already seen him do something. Like, just make something else. Like, you can't just put an actor in something and then it's going to be good. Like, but to be fair, he does have that power. Like RDJ does have that power.
Really good though, man.
He really is. Good. He really is. I get it. And I'm an RDJ stan.
Chris Evans. Yeah. Here's the thing.
100%.
Chris Evans to me would never, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly, and I get it, but he would never, like, if he comes back as a different role, it's fine or whatever, but he will never not be Johnny Storm to me.
Sure.
Really?
He is to me.
No.
Did you see him in Deadpool and Wolverine? Are you out of your mind, dude? That's fucking Johnny, bro.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Johnny, man.
He'll always be the dude from Not Another Teen Movie to me.
That's what I was going to say.
Is his name not Johnny?
Zach.
Yeah, his name's Johnny Storm in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Storm.
One of my favorite scenes that still makes me laugh is that he's like, who's that? He's like, oh, that's my mother. He's like, oh, you have her eyes. And then they show a picture of a stick figure. She's drawing just stick figure. That's just. But real quick, shout out to on Instagram. Shout out to Angie Warfield, who was a contestant on the floor with me. She's awesome. She was great. And then shout out to Cinephobe podcast, which is my favorite non-WuBro podcast. Is fucking Cinephobe, and not
Really?
just because I was a guest on their podcast, but legitimately. I
have subscribed and started listening. I listened to your episode.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty like
it's.
I love movie podcasts in general, but yeah, I'm definitely going to subscribe.
So yeah, it's look. There's a plenty of podcasts with dudes talking about movies, but kind of funny.
Sure.
That are out there to choose from. This is a good one. You know, like it's fun.
I love and the thing is, they have so many inside jokes that they have a Reddit. There's a Reddit thing with them that people ask, what does this mean when they say this? And they have like a glossary of their definitions. So when they say ass on, this guy's ass on, this guy's ass off, is like the actor was acting his ass off. He did a good job. And so the opposite of acting his ass off is acting his ass on, which means that he's not good. Like all of these things, but when you're listening to the episode, Cinephobe, go check them out.
Yeah.
Love it. That's hilarious.
With all of the lately, my issue with all of these the comic book movie things about like not just comic movie, but like genre nerd movies, right? Like all of these nerd topics, they've always been mined for content in like Hollywood, but never so obvious and dramatic as it has been in the last like 20 years. Right. Like they're straight up like
Voltron,
nerd culture.
Live action Voltron is coming, bro.
Yeah,
another Henry Cavill movie.
Henry
Cavill is just an every nerd's like you can't not get you can't get away from Henry Cavill no matter what. Of course, no matter what your nerddom is, no matter what your specialty is.
Well, he is. So he's like the nerd golem, like he's the strong, you know, like he's this huge thing that every nerd wishes they were, you know, kind of like when you look
every
at
nerd thinks they are. Like, no, I'm the cool one. It's like you're not the cool one.
You're not. He's not. Have you heard Henry Cavill? He's not even the cool one.
He's just one Henry.
Henry Cavill is not. He's just a dork. Like he's just so hot. That everybody gives him the benefit of the doubt. He is not slick.
Mike, can you give him the definition of dork versus nerd?
Oh, the definition of a nerd is somebody who is proud of what they love and are not ashamed of it. A dork is somebody who will change what they believe just to be liked by somebody else.
And that's not Henry. Henry's not a dork. Henry's not a dork. He's a proud geek. I'll give him that much. He's a
geek for sure. He's
He's proud of who he is. He's not trying to hide. He's not trying to be cool. Which
you
is
can respect.
Cool.
Yeah, you can respect a nerd. Nerds are cool. Dorks are not.
Yeah,
like
he is, and that is a direct quote from
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's never been any of those things. So how is he supposed to know?
Because he's super proud of who he is. He's a redneck. Yeah. He's super proud of who he is, and he's like, hey, this is who I am, and I am this slow, and I talk this way, and this is who I am, and I'm not changing for anybody.
As a child of the 90s, where I feel like that is the peak time of when I equate it to the Saved by the Bell. You are one thing and one thing only.
Yeah.
For the sake of easily putting you in a box, right?
Sure.
This is that was the era where if you were a jock, you were a jock, and because there was no outside world, there was no internet, there was just movies and TV. There was no like community outside of what was immediately around you. You were that one thing, and that's it. Because if you deviated from that one thing, either the jock group would be like you're now out ostracized. The nerd group would not fully embrace you because you were associated with jock culture. Like there were so many lines drawn that geek, dork, and nerd.
I don't know, man. In Monster Squad, they accepted that cool guy very quickly.
There were monsters, Nery. They had to team up. There was danger afoot. No, but the idea that you and I, we've always talked about this, where I was like, as I was, by the grace of God or whatever universal force, given the genetics of being as big as I am, right? So when I was a nerd, I could get away with some stuff because I was still a jock. I was still all these other things. And I was just at the tail end of where you could be more than one thing. Henry Cavill is still just a nerd, but he has the physicality of non-nerds. So
but the fact
like John Mulaney says about pedophiles, you got to throw them off their game.
But the fact that he doesn't care and he's never cared about expressing his love for his fandom, that's what makes him cool, is what I'm trying to tell you. So he is cool. By definition, he's cool because he's never ever cared about not flying his feet.
That's some real 21st century bullshit, Nery, and you know that wouldn't fly in fucking the 1900s.
All right, dude, you're talking to a kid. You're talking to a fat kid who didn't have the fucking genetic blessings of a 6'3" Sasquatch. You're talking to a fucking fat kid who grew up reading comics and proudly telling people you're wrong. Wolverine would not heal from that, and that's that. So you're talking to the wrong guy, man. And I don't give a shit. I never cared. And I was
not caring. The world. What I'm saying is that pop culture now is what nerd culture used to be, but mined for gold. Like it's strip. They're strip mining fandoms with disregard for the actual time it took to build those communities, right? Because now everything's so disposable. So like Star Wars, there are people talk shit about Disney now, and like Disney has ruined Star Wars. They don't remember, which I remember very clearly, that George Lucas sold Star Wars because of how toxic the fandom was then.
Yeah.
Then he sold it to Disney, and they were like, finally, someone's going to do something good about this. And then now they're shitting on the Disney. So it's one of those things where everything now feels like a nostalgia cash grab.
We got Andor.
Andor was only because David Goyer was like, don't you fucking touch my show. You promised me legally contracted hands off. And they had to do it. By the way, Skeleton Crew is fucking great. I love the first 2 episodes.
Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah.
So fun. Goonies in space.
I haven't even finished Andor season 1 yet.
It's the Captain EO prequel. It's so
they
good.
Just got away with it.
So good, Captain EO prequel.
They just got away with the heist. So
you're like what
I can't wait till they meet Michael Jackson. It's gonna be great.
Nery doesn't know what he's talking. Nery doesn't know what we're talking about because he's like Jim Gaffigan trying to talk about Heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 3 years later, where he's like, I want to talk about it now. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't like Heat? Obviously, I meant that your mother's a whore. That's obviously what I meant.
But yeah, like
Jim Gaffigan's new special is so good, by the way. Speaking of good specials, Nery Saenz' new special on YouTube is so freaking funny.
Shout out to Mike. I love Mike. So Mike, this is a true story. Mike hit me up on a DM and he was like, hey man. So he was like,
I don't talk to you outside of this show.
He was like, just, hey man, FYI, like that special is like legitimately really good. Like he was like using words that I know.
I used my big words.
He using words to show like, hey, I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm not being your friend right now. I'm being a real person that is expressing an opinion, and even though it's favorable, I'm not giving you these favorable opinions because you're my friend.
Right.
It's one of those things where I want to express to you, which I love getting. I love receiving anything. But my whole point is like after shows, I will meet people like crew members, for example, right? Or servers at comedy clubs. Meet them before I perform, and then after I perform, I love when they come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, you're actually really good.
You're actually funny."
But it's because I know what they mean. What they mean is like, I'm not saying this as a friend. I'm saying this as like an impartial opinion. And that was what Mike was doing when he saw my special. He's like, hey, this is actually really good. And I'm like, thanks. I appreciate it.
But in all reality,
sometimes it could be dangerous when they over compliment you, where they're like, no, really, I thought it was gonna be fucking awful, but wow, it was passable. You're like, what?
No, but in all reality, like production was great. Like looks like a comedy special, like, which I know that sounds ridiculous, but there are some specials on YouTube. I won't say comedians' names. But there are some specials on YouTube that are just a thing that they shot with their phone. And that is not a special. You know what I mean? Like, it's like actually a well-produced piece of art. and it's really funny, and I actually mean that as a fan of comedy, and both Nery and Mike know that I would not say that if I didn't think it was actually funny, because I love comedy that much.
Yeah.
So like that's just the truth.
Let's just watch it right now. Let's
just watch it.
Put
Let's
it on
just
right
watch
now.
it.
I just think it's right here. Like, let's just watch
my
it.
YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube.
It's on YouTube, yeah.
I appreciate it, and then compliment, and give the thumbs up or whatever. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
I took a lot of pride in the. I like this material the most because it was my most personal,
super personal.
And here's the
That's
thing,
why
that's
I
not-
liked it too.
My whole thing has always been like I write from what I know, and I tell stories that really happened to me. All my stories have really happened, but this one got more personal than before. So I appreciate that. So thank you. That means a lot. To me.
All my stories really happened, but it takes someone going, "Hey, weren't you walking through? You were talking to your wife yesterday, right?" Like, you're like, "Yeah, that's right, I was.
I was talking to my wife.
I was talking to my wife." Well, I mean, we covered a lot, but nothing deeply. That's what we need to talk about. That's the thing we want to put out on this show.
That's our
the theme of this show.
The theme of this show is that we have topics, we never get to them.
We never get to them. We talk lightly about every single one. We talked about Free My Boy Luigi, who we don't think because of the eyebrows is the actual guy. The snitch at McDonald's, being a child of I'm a quarter McDonald's on my mom's side. Nice. So it is painful to me.
Real quick, I know this is not on the schedule, Mike. So I know, to the listener, just know that Mike does not like anything that's not on the schedule. He really gets like, what the fuck? Can we go real quick? 4 or 5? Can we do a 4-round fast food draft?
Yes, let's do it. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So if we're gonna draft fast food items,
we did. By the way, Mike, this is I told Nery last week about the Criterion Collection for the first time, which is something
I didn't know
he
about.
did not.
I had no idea what that meant.
You know about this, Mike, right?
The Criterion Collection is like the distribution.
Yeah, like the
what about it? What about it? Do I need to know?
Well, no.
Just how awesome they are.
The fact that it exists. Mike Mercadal is way more artsy fartsy than I am. He watches.
Yeah, I'm full of arts and farts.
I did not know about the Criterion because I am like, you know.
They are what do they call it? They curate.
They curate.
Is that what they call it? Like they curate. I don't want to use the word nostalgia because it's been strip mined for all of its worth, but they curate quality cinematic experiences or whatever, and they distribute them. So
Nery was very happy to see Time Bandits on there.
Yeah,
which is one of your favorites.
That was one of the original old school picks that Mike Mercadal made. Was Time Bandits. I still haven't watched the movie, but every time
get the Criterion.
If you watch the Goldbergs, Adam Goldberg has a Time Bandits poster in his room. And every time I see that poster, I think of Mike Mercadal. I'm like, hey, there's boy right there.
That's old school. Has anybody watched the Time Bandits series with Lisa Kudrow yet?
I didn't know there was a series.
There's a time. Man, this is the whole point of streaming, like basically draining every bit of genre nostalgia out, every bit of a previously profitable IP, and sucking the life out of all of it and not doing anything with it. They just need content to justify to their shareholders. Yeah, private equity that we got content. That's the whole HBO Max taking shit and losing it, taking shit off of streaming and just taking the loss.
Dude, they just took Westworld out of HBO Max. Like, what is going on? That was a popular show. Why are you taking it off of Max?
That first season of Westworld is incredible.
I like season 2,
crazy. Season 2 is incredible. They're both really, really good. Anyway, since 1984, the Criterion Collection has been dedicated to publishing important classic and contemporary films from around the world in editions that offer the highest technical quality and award-winning original supplements.
Yeah, but where's Terminator 2, Mike? Where's Terminator 2 in this fucking list?
Yeah,
Huh?
well, that was the question that I asked him last week, was if you were to come up with a movie that you wanted on the Criterion Collection, what would it be? It would be like the Mike Mercadal Criterion Collection movie. What movie would that be?
Ooh, well, we're gonna do our. Well, let's
I'll-
do the fast food.
My
draft.
Yeah, we
vote
could do
was
the
to break-
fast food
my
thing
vote was
first.
to break into Electric Boogaloo. That was my vote.
My
I will be honest, Nery gave me, we ended up talking about this for like 3 days after, I
Yeah.
think, right, Nery? And Nery gave me some good movies where I was like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Like,
Yeah.
that's so good. Like,
Because they
Terminator
have
2 and like Castaway and all these
they have to
great
have
movies.
some sort
yeah.
of. They have to have some sort of cultural impact, right?
Sure.
They also have to have some sort of like visually distinct kind of.
Can you name me in the last 30 years? Can you name me, honest to God, a more culturally impactful film,
Mhm.
culturally impactful with the image that you're looking for than Terminator 2?
No,
How
yeah,
many
I mean it's
Fucking ripoffs. How many times? How many?
It's iconic,
spoofs?
yeah.
It's iconic. It's like all of this shit. It's. I mean, the technology that was in that movie, it still holds up to this day, and it's 30 years plus later.
Yeah.
That movie's-
And
I mean,
I'm saying it again, but like the fact that Spielberg isn't on the Criterion is a crime. Like, like that's ridiculous.
I hate
That
crime.
Spielberg or Cameron aren't on the Criterion. Like,
oh man, I had this open. Where is it?
Right. So fast food.
Yeah, fast food draft.
yeah, let's do
Okay.
fast food.
Let's snake it around. Who wants to go first?
Mike,
Is
you go
it-
first.
I'll
Is
go
it
first.
specific or like specific
Fast food
meals?
item.
Or...
Fast food
Oh,
items.
items. Okay.
Hmm.
Fast food.
So
items.
fast food items.
First overall pick, Mike. You have the first overall
Yeah,
pick.
the number one. Oh man, because there's a lot of criteria that we could be on. We're doing this on the fly, so I have not thought about this. I think number one, I have to go with. I think I'm going to go chicken McNuggets. Number one,
That was my
Okay.
number
That's a good one.
chicken McNuggets.
one. All right, that was my number one.
McNug-
That was gonna be my number one. All right.
I don't know if I can top if you can top a chicken McNugget experience
From McDonald's.
when
yeah.
it from McDonald's when it like it is as
Yeah.
yeah it's pure it's classic unchanged in however many years
Mhm.
it's old reliable and if I want a little or if I want fucking 20 of them they are there for
Or 50, exactly. Yeah.
50 right the 50 Jesus I forgot about that
All right.
now-
All right. So I'm gonna go with my pick. My number one pick. I was gonna go chicken McNuggets, but that got taken off the board. Of course, you can't expect the top
This is
quarterback.
draft.
to lead.
You told me to go
Yeah,
first
I got it.
I
got
offered it up to the
I
team
got it.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what I mean? When you have Peyton Manning on the block, you know
you got to take Big Mac
you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with cheesy gordita crunch.
Jeez, man. That was going to be my Taco Bell pick. That was going to be my
So
Taco Bell
good.
pick. Man. Okay.
Wow
Damn
that
it.
Enough said. By the way, I don't even need any reason. It's just cheesy gordita crunch.
I mean, everybody knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Cheesy
CGC is
gordita
the best
crunch.
thing on the Taco Bell menu. Let's see. Damn it, man. That was
if you're
so good.
watching right now, get in the comments with your fast food picks. But we will have to promise not to change. We have our own criteria, but we would love to hear your criteria for the best fast food picks. Valdez, it's
Okay.
on you. We have
If I'm-
McNuggets, cheesy gordita crunch. Where are we
You
going?
guys pick tent poles. I'm gonna pick tent poles, even though I wanted to pick a main course. I'm going McDonald's French fries.
Okay,
That's yeah.
strong.
McDonald's French fries strong. Some of us remember the original beef tallow French fries, so
Yes.
that's a strong pick. We'll snake it around so you get your number two now, so that it's fair.
Oh, cool. So serpentine. Okay, so let's see. So I'll go with the first. I'll go with the first thing that I wanted to do, which I love chicken sandwiches. I like them more than burgers. My favorite chicken sandwich is actually the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's.
Yep,
Nice.
it's a
Nice.
solid spicy chick sandwich.
I will stick with the chicken, but I will go with the chicken nugget from Wendy's.
Ooh,
Oh
Wendy's
yeah,
nuggets.
Wendy's nuggets are dope. Yeah.
Wendy's
And I'm
nuggets.
going Wendy's regular nuggets, not the spicy ones. I know.
No,
I think they're both good, to be honest.
I
yeah.
like the spicy. Wait, this you said the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, right?
Yes, I did.
Valdez?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's important. I do think the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is better but the nuggets regular flavor are better.
Yeah. I agree. Yes, I agree.
I am going to go. Well, continuing with the chicken theme, I'm going to go Popeye's chicken sandwich. Just a classic.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be taken. I love that sandwich too.
Popeye's chicken sandwich. Can't like genuinely. In my this is all opinion based. This is all subjective. Like I think the best chicken sandwich out there. Ironically,
I agree. I completely. Funny enough.
I don't agree with that. Go ahead.
Funny enough, when I'm feeling.
That's why I said it's subjective, Nery.
I know, but I'm saying because everybody was in agreement, and I was like, wait till my pick. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay. Well, you might say it, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say then.
Right, we have to keep it
because my thing is a chicken thing.
I might steal it.
Yeah, you might say. Well, I was going to make a comment about a specific thing, but not pick it. But I don't want to say it.
Sandwich. Driving across the country with my wife when we moved to LA, I stopped at a gas station Popeyes, and it was still good. It was it was better. I don't know what it was, but we were in the middle of nowhere driving across the country. We had fucking Popeyes chicken sandwich. It was her first, and she to this day is like, that's the best chicken sandwich. And I listen to what my wife tells me.
Sure.
My number 3. Crunchwrap Supreme from the
strong.
That's another strong favorite from Taco Bell.
You know what's good about that? Handheld, you could drive with it, bro.
100%. Yes.
It's like a disc shaped. It's sealed, and the tortilla got sealed. Can't be beat. The Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's strong. So I'm gonna go with the so far I have the cheesy gordita crunch, and I have the chicken nuggets from Wendy's.
The Wendy's nugs.
It's so difficult because I really wanted to do like different chains.
It was top 3. So we were only doing. Are we doing Mount Rushmore? Or are we doing top 3?
No, 5. 5. We go 5.
Oh, we're going 5. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with
This is important. We're doing 5.
Yeah. Limit me to 3. You know what? I'm gonna double dip here and go back to Wendy's and go the Frosty.
Tent pole. Yeah.
Wendy's Frosty. What flavor?
That's what I was gonna say.
Chocolate.
Do you fuck with?
I'm not saying it has to go on the list, but what is?
No. Yeah.
Chocolate.
Chocolate Frosty.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think they've made a bad one. They had a pumpkin spice one for like 2 seconds. It was delicious. It was great.
Even the SpongeBob one was good. The pineapple one was good.
Gotta love it. I mean,
I do have a joke in my stand-up about it, where because they did that Krusty Krab meal or whatever, and it's just the Dave single with fries. and I was like, dude, if Wendy's is like the bully on the playground telling you that Santa Claus isn't real,
what do you got, Mike?
So we got what's your number 3, and then you got number 4, obviously.
Well, since I have to go Taco Bell because ultimately Taco Bell is my number 1 fast food chain, and both of you have picked my favorite things. So I'm gonna go with my Old Faithful, which is a chicken quesadilla.
Ooh, just a classic TV chicken quesadilla.
Great appetizer. Great palate cleanser if you have cheese if you have a cheesy gordita crunch and you're moving on to like another item or something. Just a great palate cleanser.
I admire the flight of options. What is it? A prefix Taco Bell experience,
dude. When you go to Taco Bell, you're not getting one thing. Let's be honest. You're not.
It used to be the cheap spot. And now it's just as expensive as some of these other places where it's not worth it. But
it's still a cheap spot. Dude, there's $10 Happy Meals. We're $10 Happy Meals. We're at $10 Happy Meals at McDonald's.
Comparatively,
that's insulting. Insulting. What's that? Where's that CEO live?
They have the
It's insulting.
Don't do
They
that.
have
How
the-
dare you?
Oh my God.
the seven.
All
the
these CEOs on the
$7
chopping block. Did you see that he announced that? Oh, I was gonna say it, but never mind.
They have a $7 Lux box, and like that's still cheaper than a Happy Meal. So like
It's
you
true.
know,
So you-
and
what's
that
your-
comes
so you
with
have
like
the-
5 items.
So what's your number?
Oh yeah.
What's your number
What's your,
four,
so you
Mom?
got the chicken quesadilla, and then now what's your number 4?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna stay with Taco Bell again, and I have to pick another tent pole because you guys took a huge tent pole. I'm taking the Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Solid.
You motherfucker. You
It is so
bitch.
weird. It is so weird how that radioactive sludge tastes good.
It's
Like-
so good. It's unique to Taco Bell.
Yes,
It is.
and it only tastes good with Taco Bell. I don't know why. Like, like, it's
Alright.
crazy.
I'll allow it. Yeah, that's a great pick. You know when a draft pick is good when it makes everybody else mad.
Oh yeah,
That is
of course.
super solid.
Like how
Mary,
how I was when you guys picked any Taco Bell item.
That's how the draft works. Nary, what's your number 4?
My 4th round with the 4th round in the
Yeah.
2024 fast food items draft. Nery Saenz selects the double quarter pounder with cheese.
The
Oh,
double
Classic. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
QPC. That is my go-to whenever I'm hungry, like for like food. Like I need a lot of calories in one thing. Like when I'm driving on road trips, that was my
Wait,
go-to.
nobody needs that many calories.
No, ever.
Yeah, when
Like-
I need
Tom
my
Hanks
calories
in
for
Castaway.
driving.
Tom Hanks in Castaway needed a double quarter pound. Nobody
Yeah.
needs that many calories in one sitting. No
When
average.
I-
No, man. Yeah,
When I need
that was
the energy to sit down for 9 hours straight to drive, I go to McDonald's.
Yeah. I need, man, when we were driving cross country, that was like we were fast fooding it the whole way. Like you had to, like we were just
Of
trying
course,
to make
you
it as
have no
good
choice,
time as
yeah.
possible.
You
And
don't
there were
have
times.
to, by the way. You don't have to. I'm gonna rock.
We
It's the
don't.
easiest thing to do, but you don't have to. You could stop into a diner and eat a salad, but let's be
We-
fucking real. We don't
Well,
want.
no, we were kind of on a time crunch, so I was driving like 14 hours a day.
that's
Like
right.
I was
Yeah,
like,
you're right. That's right. I remember that.
I was on a time crunch, so we were hauling ass, and I had my trailer, so I didn't feel comfortable like parking it. Whatever, I had my whole life in my trailer behind my car. But yeah, so that was like our go-to. It was great. The double QPC, the double quarter pounder with cheese.
Yeah, QPC is great.
I'm torn here because I could call an
Last pick.
huh?
Here's your last
Because
pick.
it's like 2 picks,
No,
but I have a bunch of things to choose from.
Mhm.
So, you know what I don't have here is a man, the fucking Baja Blast, because I was trying to combine it all like with a soda,
Yeah.
like a good
Like a good meal. Yeah, I get you.
yeah. I just had one. I'm going to go with my number 4 is going to be God, could be that one too. Just because of how scared the McDonald's CEO was after this United Healthcare thing and they announced its return, I'm going to go with the snack wrap, the McDonald's snack wrap,
Oh
crispy
yeah.
chicken snack wrap. Just because that was like a go-to thing. It was cheap. I would get like 1,000 of them.
Are they still around?
They're bringing it back because the guy's afraid to get shot.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Snack.
I'm
the-
so-
afraid to get shot. You guys are.
yeah.
It's like it's so scary. It's so like
Who would have
scary
thought that terrible
that-
violence would have solved a lot of problems?
that violence is bringing the freaking McRib back. Like, like you know what? The McRib is around all year. How about that?
Yeah, just make it. I'm going to go. Also, I didn't put any fries on here. I don't have a side on here just yet because the
Yeah.
snack wrap is a different thing. I'm gonna go McDonald's breakfast. I'm gonna go with the hash brown. The McDonald's hash brown.
Hell yeah, dude! I love that
yes.
pick.
Yes.
I love that
I,
pick.
I can't. Like that is. They overcharge and it's crazy how much they think a fucking hash brown should cost. But that's it. You know what? I'm gonna erase that snack wrap. Fuck that snack wrap. because it doesn't hold up to the rest of the quality.
Man, that's such a weak. I didn't want to be a dick, but I was like, what? I was like, all right, man,
I thought I would get a bigger
what if
laugh
Mike was
because
like,
of the.
what if Mike was like the salad McShakers from the 90s?
I swear to God, I was about to say that. I was like, yeah, that's what you're gonna go with. That's I was like, all right, but I didn't. But he was like,
So, you know what I'm gonna call audible hash brown number 4, and then because I got a lot of McDonald's on here because that's my heritage. That's
yeah, 3 parts Happy Meal.
I think with the McDonald's hash brown, McDonald's nuggets, but Popeyes and Taco Bell represented, McDonald's can round out my number 5, and I'm gonna go with an Oreo McFlurry.
Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's my
dessert.
solid meal.
Perfect little dessert. Yeah.
A McFlurry of all flavors. We didn't specify the frosty flavor. I'll just say a McFlurry.
All right.
What's your number 5?
So I was trying very hard to hit the top, companies, because I went with Taco Bell, I went with 2 Wendy's and a McDonald's, and I was trying to go with a Burger King. But I realized I haven't done the fries yet.
Yeah.
And to me, and I know this might be a hot topic, this might be a hot take.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
But to me, the best fries out there are the Checkers fries.
Checkers fries. I knew you were gonna say
so
that.
So this is the truth, and I'm gonna unveil the truth a little here. I picked McDonald's fries because I was a little salty about your picks before mine, and I knew that it would be a number 1 pick. Yeah. Even though in my heart, Checkers are my favorite fries.
Yeah.
Checkers fries.
Checkers are the best fries in the game, period.
To be fair, had you not picked the McDonald's fries, I was going to go after that.
Yeah.
But since you did, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of glad.
Sure.
Off the board, because I'm going to go with the Checkers fries.
McDonald's fries is the Tom Brady of fries. Like,
and I'll be honest with you, McDonald's fries now is Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It is lost. It's like shine because
Super Bowl winner.
That's why it's still number 1, but it'll never be as good as they were before when they were the Patriots.
Okay, maybe.
Man,
you know what? I actually agree with you, Mike. I agree with you, Mike, because that is true. Like they have kind of gone down since. I mean, and granted, I haven't had them in a while, but.
Look, to be fair, everything has gone down in quality. I don't know,
and
if that's
what
like
sucks is why are we paying more? But
for shittier fries.
For shittier stuff, yeah.
What's your number 5, man? What's your 5th?
Okay, so since everybody's done with their pick, I'm gonna say the thing that I wanted to say, even though it's not a pick, bro. When I am feeling like a fucking fast food hoe, I get the Burger King Long Boy chicken sandwich.
Oh, the BK original chicken sandwich.
That's Mike. Remember when I said I don't agree with Popeyes being the best chicken sandwich? That's what I had in mind.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, that was
same.
That was a gold standard because we didn't have a Popeyes by our house. So
do you remember? Yeah, that was the shit. And do you remember when they went international chicken sandwiches?
Remember that? The fucking Italian and the French.
The Italian, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Was like, oui, motherfucker, oui. Let's go.
Do you not realize that we were living like kings when BK used to sell chicken parmesan? Because that's what it was.
Yes.
It was mozzarella cheese, tomato sauce, like a tomato sauce, and a chicken sandwich. They were selling chicken parm sandwiches at BK.
Yeah.
They were having like a chicken cordon bleu sandwiches, like the French one.
I remember that chicken cordon bleu too.
It was insane. I would get the American one with bacon on it. It was it was elite, so good. That's a great pick. Had to be represented. Very happy with our list.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to use my Burger King pick on, but I already picked a couple chicken things, and I was like, I don't have a fry, so I went with that.
Yeah.
But real talk,
I like chicken sandwiches more than burgers. Weirdly, yeah.
I do think it's interesting. So let's look at the list here. With my 5 picks: McDonald's chicken nuggets, Popeye's chicken sandwich, the Taco Bell Crunch Wrap Supreme, McDonald's hash brown, only breakfast item chosen.
I thought about going a McDonald's, but I went with too many McDonald's already. But I thought about going with
also McDonald's hash browns is breakfast S tier. like
It's
for sure.
S tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the McFlurry. So Nary, you have your number 1 is cheesy gordita crunch. Great pick.
Yeah, S tier.
Number 2, Wendy's nuggets. Number 3, Wendy's frosty, chocolate preferred. When McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, which is also like elite, and Checkers fries, which fucking crushing it. And Valdez, you have McDonald's fries number 1, Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, Taco Bell chicken quesadilla, the Baja Blast, you motherfucker, and the BK original chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
All of your food items that are not
I like
French fries or
chicken.
a soda is fucking chicken.
I
Not
like
me, though.
chicken.
That's what I was gonna say, Mike. I was surprised you didn't go with you didn't have a meat burger in there at all.
Yeah, I think the only
Crunch
reason
Wrap
why.
Supreme- Oh, you're talking.
Oh, I was
about
gonna
it.
say the only reason why is because my favorite burgers that were not chosen are In-N-Out, and I just didn't want to be a person that picked In-N-Out when I'm from Florida. Like, there's so many.
You can pick In-N-Out. That's a good burger.
Yeah, no, it's
You could've
my
just picked
favorite
Five
fast
Guys.
food burger. Period.
Five Guys, and then you would have been the same thing.
The thing is that also we would have gotten into, because if someone would have said Five Guys, I'd have been like, I don't think that's fast food enough.
Yeah,
If it takes
I
20
agree.
minutes, half an hour to get a burger, that I don't
Yeah.
think that's fast food. But I will say that, like we used to say back in the Mount Geekmore days, you got your mountain, I got my mountain. No one was telling. If you want to change any of your entries
My list.
for your list, you have your list. You can make it whatever you want. You can put In-N-Out some there. What would you take off is the question.
I think, man,
I have
no,
my choice.
well, yeah, because you want to have my Mountain Dew.
do want your
But I was gonna say, you know what? I would just, so I can have a In-N-Out animal style burger. I will take out the chicken quesadilla because I think the other two sandwiches are solid tent poles.
Yeah.
That's where I would
In-N-Out.
go.
Yeah. In-N-Out burger, animal style. That's fantastic. Double.
Yeah, double.
Mike,
Yeah, I can't beat it.
Look at him. You think he's gonna have a single? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we ain't fucking around in this house.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
None of us get singles. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we get 4x4s.
Beat the quarter pounder with
Fucking
cheese.
babies.
Double quarter pounder with cheese, motherfucker. Like that's
Yeah.
right.
Bro, we get 4x4s protein style because we're keto. That's what we do.
Bro, I In-N-Out and all of the fast food places have kind of gotten like priced out because I make burgers at home now, and I'm never really in that much of a hurry that I feel like it's worth it,
Right.
But In-N-Out is one of those where I don't. In-N-Out fries are trash to me. They're
Oh,
not-
100%.
they're garbage.
Yes, I agree.
But the burgers are still like hard to beat. They're still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, dude, there's some weird people that are like, yeah, it's because you have to get them extra crispy. Yeah, you're lying. Like
You're lying. Yeah, no.
whatever it is that I have to do, I've done it. They still suck. Like they are the worst fries in the game, period.
That it's true. So I mean, what a delightful draft to have taken part in impromptu. I'm very happy now, also very hungry. We also have old school picks to do before we go.
Let's do it.
Do we have any old school picks prepared?
I have one already
You have
prepared.
guess first. What would you like?
Well, it's the Christmas.
to go on the list.
It's the Christmas season.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick an old school Christmas movie. I will say this: it's not my pick, but my favorite Christmas movie of all time, I just realized, is Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Yes, I like it more than the first Home Alone. Because
I don't think anybody argues that. I don't think
I like the second one a lot.
I don't think
I love the second one more. I like it
Yeah.
more because New York is a character and it's beautiful. I
Is Home
absolutely
Alone-
love it.
Is that your pick?
No, I was just gonna say that as my favorite Christmas movie. My pick is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's my pick.
Yeah, that's classic.
Yeah.
Now, does that fall under the category of old school pick? Because I see it on everything every year advertised. Old school
Is
picks
it?
usually have to have fallen by the wayside.
Do you see it advertised? I don't. I mean,
It pops
It's-
up on every list and everything in social media, like around this time of year. It pops up a lot. It's in a lot of people's minds.
To
Does
be
it
fair, when it
qualify?
comes
Not to
to
shit, not to dismiss your pick.
Of course, but when it comes to Christmas movies in general, it's really hard to find like a Christmas movie nobody's seen, you know, and
Yeah,
usually
that's
the ones nobody's seen
Yeah.
are awful, you know. So
Yeah.
so that's kind of the thing. And I also just like choosing movies that are like, oh yeah, like that is a good one. Like I should
That's
watch
going
that
on
this
there.
holiday season. Yeah.
We have Porcupine Jason in the chat. What up, Captain? He's saying, or they are saying, Nowhere to Run, JCVD.
That's
Nowhere to Run gets
Yeah.
an honorable mention
I am
on
Oh, yeah.
Film
hard
Watch.
attendant and you're bothering my customers. That's a direct line, baby. Direct quote from the movie.
Next time
I
I see that son of
fully
bitch
believe
bison,
you.
I'm going to kick his ass so hard. That's what I love Street Fighter.
My God, it's so good. You know what? Nery, do you want to go?
No, go ahead. I'm so decided.
I have. I was just watching it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It is also a holiday themed movie, kind of, when you think about it, like where it happens. And it's something that I forgot how fucking good it is. Trading Places.
Love Trading Places. Yes.
So good, yeah.
Such
Trading
a good movie.
Places is and in light of all of the current stock market bullshit and all of the everything going wrong with private equity and CEOs and whatnot, it was fun to, you know, like it's literally like the best way to get back at rich people is by turning them into poor people is one of the best lines ever in cinema. And it is you know, like people like to pretend they know what happened at the end of that fucking movie, and it is you just like that guy, that all those rich dudes get fucked in the end. And it takes place during Christmas. It takes place during New Year's. It's a holiday. It's a winter movie. We'll call it. It's a winter movie.
All right.
Mary,
I'm not
what do you
going with the holiday theme, so mine is going to be
of course.
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and
Hooch.
That
I think that's the movie that the Bruce Wayne and his parents went to see before Bruce Wayne's parents died.
So true.
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
Went to see Turner and Hooch. Either that or Weekend at Bernie's. It was one of those two.
Because you're talking about in the way they talked about.
Yeah, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Where
realistically, in the timeline of the modern Batman.
Yes. Yeah.
Which Batman? Their parents, is it Ben Affleck's Batman?
No, I mean, if Batman is 40 years old, he had he was 10 when his parents got murdered, so 30 years ago would be 1989. The movies that were popular in 1989 were Turner and Hooch.
But in the winter, right? Like they always, the way they show the movie, in the movie that they're wearing their coats and the pearls go flying and all that stuff.
How crazy would it be if his parents died on the way from seeing Batman the movie? Like that would be insane. Just Bruce Wayne's like, I have an idea. How about
hey? Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Bruce Wayne's letterbox would all be movies.
That's so good.
That's great.
Oh my goodness. Well, gentlemen, we did it. We've accomplished the recording of a successful episode. Thank you, everybody who's been watching, and like and share, subscribe. Hey, there's a doggy.
Doggy, doggy, dog.
He's got so big. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you if you would please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the YouTube channel. I put the link to Nery's special in the chat, so you can go watch it directly from this video if you so choose. You can follow us at WuBro Pod on all social media platforms, at Mike Mercadal, at Nery Saenz, at Mike Valdez. Mike, is there anything that you would like to promote before we go?
If you are in the Miami area on the 20th of December, I'm going to be doing a Don't Tell comedy show. I technically shouldn't be telling you that, but because the lineup is supposed to be secret, but
the name of the show is Don't Tell.
Yeah, also the name of the show is Don't Tell People That You're Doing It. But if you honestly go to don'ttellcomedy.com to get tickets. I am performing, but usually those shows sell out very, very quickly because they are just amazingly curated shows. They're always really awesome and just a really cool way to find new talent that's local. So yeah.
Fantastic. Can I just real quick? Can I just tell you that in looking up movies, there's a 1989 movie that's called The Vampire is Still Alive. And it is the premise of the movie says Joyce rents an old haunted home to pen her horror script, which releases an evil army of robot vampires.
Hell yeah.
What more do you need? Criterion Collection. What more do you need?
What more do you want?
You could just get rid of every other movie in the Criterion because this movie has it all.
Yeah. And the cover, if you look at the cover, it looks like a RoboCop knockoff.
What was it called?
It's called The Vampire is Still Alive. 1989.
Take out blue as the warmest color. Put The Vampire is Still Alive in there.
Oh, it is straight up a
RoboCop ripoff.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so fucking funny. Now I just picture RoboCop as a vampire. I'm like, why was this never made?
Yeah.
He technically is because he's undead.
It's kind of like how I always pictured Abraham Lincoln as a vampire hunter as well. Like it's kind of difficult to see him as a president.
So that I love that movie. Unironic.
I love that movie.
Yeah, me too.
Anytime, especially like during election years, whenever they bring up Abraham Lincoln, I always go, "Why do they never talk?" Like I always say that joke to myself.
Why do they never talk about how?
Why do they never talk about the fucking vampires he slayed? Are you out of your mind? Yeah. Freeing the slaves is very important, but let's not forget the fucking vampires, man. He's all of mankind. Like,
it wasn't just slavery; it was mankind in general. Like it
saved us all.
It's just so funny. Every time some fucking 2-bit politician quotes or like just tries to invoke the spirit of Abraham Lincoln. I'm the best president since Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, how many vampires you killed, motherfucker? Like, get out of here with this 100%.
Shit. He doesn't just kill them; he hunts them. You understand? He hunts them.
I'm not waiting for them to try to attack me, motherfucker. I go after them.
I go after.
You know what? You know what Abraham Lincoln said? I am the one who knocks.
Yeah,
that's exactly the truth.
Yeah, Walter White stole that from Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Consider following us all on social media. Check out Nery Saenz' new special. Nery, is there anything before we go?
The Floor. Check out The Floor, season 2 of The Floor. Check out my special on my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm gonna try to find a way to put episodes of WuBro on my YouTube as well, because right now it's on the WuBro YouTube. So I'm gonna try to share that as well. And then on my special, and then The Floor on Fox, on Hulu. Check it out, season 2. So, and I have a couple friends who are applying for season 4. So make sure you guys be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that happens.
Season 4 on The Floor. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you everybody for watching. Nery Saenz, send us off.
That's how winning is done.